when you, as a vegan, entrepreneur, vegan social entrepreneur in India, talk about veganism, how do you navigate it with, people? What are some of the words? What is the vocabulary that you believe works for them? Because vegan is, once again, there is British heritage involved with that too. I mean, they came up with the word in 1940s, I believe. So how do you talk about it, or do people get it when you say vegan?
Actually, a lot of people do get it, and I don't think there's a problem in calling it vegan at all. I think it's good to have that demarcation. Yeah, I do a lot of times take that reference back and saying that try to understand that vegetarian purely means vegan in its purest form. So but people are quite receptive to it, and people, but India is a large country. We have most of the population is not still literate, and they are still in two tier cities. So I am talking largely about urban Indians only right now. I'm not talking about Indians who are in villages, and that is honestly a different problem to tackle altogether. I do feel that how we can influence those people are by just I think it could start with farmers directly, right? So people who are in rural areas, who have slaughterhouses or who have these big animal farms. I think they just need to be given more subsidies to grow plants and vegetables and do that right instead, and then get introduced to the subject of veganism. This
Yeah.
is for the rural areas, and people are quite open in urban India. Veganism is getting a lot of receptivity, but so are keto diets, gluten-free diets. So I think today, we are living in a global culture, and there is so much rapid digitalization in India that, and a lot of urban Indians are very well traveled. You will find some of the most some of the biggest billionaires here in India. So there is a lot of wealth also that is there in the country. So given the fact that we are able to afford certain products, and they are well traveled, and millennials do go out a lot, everybody's on the internet. So I feel that veganism is not something which is alien to us anymore. Of course, when you go to countries like Kashmir, maybe where largely people don't even eat vegetables, they literally only eat meat. That's those are places where veganism is still really mocked at. But if you look at the one tier cities like Delhi, Bangalore, or even cities like Pune, Chennai, pretty receptivity is higher now. So for older people, because of whole food plant based and the preventive healthcare, and for youngsters mostly for animals or climate change. So I think that's how it's been till now, and people are receptive.
Yeah, yeah. So thank you for sharing that. And one of the things that our viewers might not understand about India is that India is multiple countries folded into one. So every region, every state has its own cuisine. So like Punjab, which is a state that both Palak and I hail from, has its own Punjabi cuisine. You referred to the state of Kashmir; they have their own Kashmiri cuisine, which is predominantly uses a lot of meat and animal products, unfortunately. And then there are some other states as well that have it's a multi-regional cuisine country. So obviously, talking about veganism, you've got to take just so many different cuts at it, right? It's a very
Yeah.
complex beast that India is, and has always been. So there's urban India, there's the middle class India that everyone talks about, that upholds these values of pious vegetarianism and worships the cow and so on. But give
I
our
mean,
viewers.
I know, but sorry for cutting you short. So I completely get where you're coming from, but we are very clear in our approach. And we talk about everything, but at the end of the day, for us, it comes down to animals.
Okay.
And that is why I mean, remember in our early days when we were asked to rename ourselves as Health First, it would have been so much easier, but we didn't do it. And I feel that that is for a reason. I genuinely, intuitively, and I'm being completely true right now. I have always felt it that there will be a time where vegans will not be mocked at, where it will not be a niche. And instead of all this energy that we're putting into masking this, if we just put that same energy back to just, saying it for what it truly is, you will see a huge change. Gandhi didn't go and say that, hey, ahimsa is not so popular, so let me like rephrase it and call it something else, just did the right thing. So I
Yeah.
think that, yeah, I think that that's what's happening. So in India, definitely it's important to talk to different cultures in different ways. But for us, what works most is, for just talking about that you can't kill sentient beings, and you just can't. You have evolved, you're on your computers and your iPods, and your laptops and everything now. But your food habits have not. So we just say it as it is. And I feel that, across all countries, I genuinely feel that this should be the norm.